636 days since fans have been inside U.S. Bank Stadium, and what a welcome back it was. It's the first win of the season in front of 66,729 Vikings fans. Welcome into Vikings Postgame Live presented by Miller Lite. I'm Tatum, Everett, and it's the Vikings' first victory over the Seahawks since 2009. A 30-17 win puts a big W in that win column for the purple and gold. Joining me here to help break down the game, we'll get into the highlights as well as some film breakdown here from head coach Mike Zimmer in just a second. But we've got Ron Johnson in studio today, former NFL receiver. Ron, I know that this game, I don't even have words for it. Between the atmosphere, the snow coming from the roof, the skull chant, seeing all those faces, and then to get a win like that, it was just a great day.
Yeah, it was a great day, and shocked. I mean, that's the only word I can say. Shocked for the simple fact of the way the game ended. I've never felt calm at the end of a Seahawks-Vikings game since I've been doing this show for 7 years on Vikings Game Day Live, and that's what the last 2 minutes was like. It was like, it's over. It's calm. Like, just kneel down.
All right, well, it didn't take very long for head coach Mike Zimmer to get to the podium. So let's hear from the Vikings head coach now.
Okay, it feels good to win. It's nice to finish out the game like we did. I thought, I told the team, I thought that's the best offensive performance that I've seen in the 8 years that I've been here. Kirk played outstanding. I thought Mattison ran the ball well. The offensive line blocked great. Tight ends, receivers blocked great on the in the run game, but also in the passing game. Very, very proud of the way that they performed today. 2 penalties, I think, all day, and one of them we took on purpose. We had, defensively, we started out a little shaky. They gave us some different things that we had to take care of, and shut them out in the second half. So I thought that was big, and Greg Joseph had 6 kicks that he made today. So it was a good all-around performance.
What do you think of that roughing the passer penalty?
I honestly didn't see it. I was watching the back. I was watching the coverage. So it was on the other side of the field, and some guys were in front of me, but I didn't. So I couldn't comment on that.
Mike, you talk about the best offensive performance. What does it say to do it without Dalvin Cook?
Says we got more to go. Hopefully.
How about, can you just talk about the job that Mattison did? He really ran hard out there.
Yeah, he always runs hard. He got, many opportunities today. Alex is a good back. He's good in protection. He does a nice job in the run game. But, the offensive line deserves a lot of credit as well.
When did you have an idea that Dalvin wouldn't play? When did you know that he'd play?
I got a text this morning.
Kirk seems to have brought his play to another level. What do you make of just where he's at through 3 games?
Yeah, I think he's playing outstanding. But not only that, he's playing with a lot of confidence. He's also, I really appreciate the leadership that he's been doing lately. It's been so much better, something he wanted to work on this offseason. Done a great job with that. He's very confident where he's throwing the football. And he's very confident in his receivers, and I think the offensive line has helped him to do some of those things as well.
Mike, what do you think has led to that additional confidence about what Kirk's throwing the ball?
He's always been really accurate. I think, maybe just, he's been in the offense now for a while, and I think maybe he just sees these things a little bit more clearly. They defensively, they have some change-ups in there that they used today, but he saw those really well. The blitz that he threw to KJ Osborne, I think it was on 3rd and 6 or 7. It was an outstanding play because he was going to get rocked, and he knew it. And made a great, accurate throw to KJ. Made a nice throw to Conklin one time. He's just really accurate, and he seems to be playing very fast.
What'd you guys do to take Metcalf out? The first 16 minutes, he had like 5 catches.
Yeah. Well, we they've got 2 great receivers, in Metcalf and Lockett, and we're trying to focus on those guys and try to back them down a little bit. When Lockett went out for a little bit, then we put a lot of our concentration on Metcalf. we just kept plugging away. They hit us on a couple boots early, and the trap pass, so, we kind of messed up a couple of those things, and we settled down, and, I think the players did a good job of adjusting today.
Did you do something to take away the deep ball and lock it? Because that's been a big part of it.
Well, we tried. I mean, they didn't hit one, but, they almost got that one late in the ball game that Harry knocked down or something.
That throw that Kirk made, the one that you mentioned on the third down blitz to Osborne, is that a different type of throw that he's making this year? The confidence to know that he's going to get rocked and he can still make that, he can get the ball. Maybe is he getting the ball out quicker this year, throwing it away quicker?
No, he's not getting it out quicker. He knows when the extra rusher belongs to him, and he knows when he has to get it out. He's hung in there and before and done it. I think we just had a good play call on where, they were in man-to-man, they were blitzing, and we had some crossing routes, which, it's hard to cover those things.
First regular season game with fans here in 2 years. How'd you feel about the atmosphere?
That was great. It seemed like the fans have been pent up for a year, so I'm glad that they came out today. It was nice to have a late afternoon game where they can hit some of the local establishments before the game, and but they were outstanding. That's what teams expect when they come into U.S. Bank Stadium. They expect it to be a loud affair when they come in here.
Mike, how pleased are you with what Clint Kubiak has been able to produce now, just 3 games into his play calling career?
Yeah, I think, first of all, he did a good job last week too, and then the first week, I don't know who could have called a good game, in 2nd and 20 and 3rd and 20, but he called a good game again today. But he's also getting a lot of help from these other offensive coaches. Kennedy Palomalu's doing a great job, and Keenan McCardell and Phil Rosher. Periani, they're all doing great. I'm probably left somebody out, but they're all doing really good. Andrew Janoko, with the quarterback, I think he's done a nice job with him. So, it's a good collective thing where you figure out, all right, how can we affect this defense and what plays can we work to get to it.
Mike, did you think about going for it there at Seattle 1, 4th and 1 at the end of the
Yeah, I thought about it, but if we kick it, we up by 13. If we don't get it, it's still a 10-point game. Who knows? But it all worked out.
Like the offensive line, is there some confidence that they're showing that maybe it wasn't there a little while ago?
I think, Brian O'Neill's kind of the guy taking charge in there, and I think he's helping these guys have confidence. Bradbury is basically a veteran now too, and that's helping. Rashad did a nice job today, I thought, as far as the things that I saw him do. In Cleveland's a quiet guy that just kind of goes about his business, but I saw him do a really nice job on a stay pass that he picked up the outside linebacker today as well. So they're doing a good job. They're working, like I told the team last week, we work so hard, we prepare so hard, we deserve to win. And these guys are working their rear ends off every single day. They're studying really hard. They come out to practice and they go hard. They try to execute, do the things that we're trying to get them to do. And it's just good that it pays off so that they can see, there's some success at the end of the tunnel.
How does it feel to finally get a win over Seattle?
Coach Zimmer in a much better mood week 3 after this victory than in the past few games. Ron, here's your biggest takeaway from what you heard Coach talk about?
Offensive play calling. I mean, everybody's been talking about the offensive play calling, and he gave his hats off maybe to Kubiak because he said week 1, which is true, penalties. Who can call a game with that many penalties? Mm-hmm. This week he actually got some manageable third downs, and we saw what his play calling looks like. So it's a good omen going forward.
Let's take a look at the big plays of this game and see how this 30-17 win unfolded. It was a raucous crowd, and they got even louder when they saw this play. The Vikings trailing 7-0, but Tyler Conklin coming up big in the end zone with a 7-yard touchdown.
Yeah, that's a good play outside by Adam Thielen. Everybody knows Adam Thielen. You see it right there. He runs his DB off, and Tyler Conklin has space. Kirk delivers a great ball.
Now, the Seahawks would come back, so the Vikings are down 17-7 here, but he finds his favorite target, Thielen, for a touchdown to make it 17-14.
Yeah, my tweet said it. Adam Thielen is good in the red zone. That's it. That's the tweet. You saw the patience there. Kirk Cousins knows that this guy. The good thing there was no safety over the top to help.
And the same score in the final seconds of the first half, and Kirk Cousins just throws a dime to Justin Jefferson.
Yeah, he runs a slant and go, but it's in the red zone, so you have to kind of break it sharp. And he has the best feet in the NFL, in my opinion. I mean, right up there with Jerry Jeudy. This kid's good, and he has a huge catch radius. Kirk Cousins knows that.
Vikings hold on in the second half, keeping Seattle scoreless. Greg Joseph would make all 3 field goal attempts in the third and fourth quarters to win the game 30-17. And what a game it really was. As you said, we were comfortable in the second half because there was a big goose egg on the Seahawks side of things. Kirk Cousins was amazing today with 3 touchdowns, 323 passing yards. Here's a look at the final stats, although I'm not going to lie to you. You know, okay, so I know it was a day game, but that view right there, the nighttime sky, I can't wait for that night game eventually.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun one. But, I mean, when you look at these stats here, what you saw was just pure dominance from the Vikings. Yes, we knew it was going to be a shootout, but we did not know it would go Kirk Cousins' way. His passer rating was great. He out-dueled Russell Wilson. And the biggest thing, no interceptions. Even the fumble that he fell on was a great bounce on his behalf. And so it's just never gone this way as far as this year. And so there's a good taste in the mouth of Vikings fans.
Yeah, well, we've got a couple of topics we want to break down because we need to dive into this and really celebrate the wins, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I'm about.
Oh, yeah.
Let's celebrate the wins. So let's take a look at the game summary for right now. We will talk about Kirk Cousins, who just flat out put on a show today. Alexander Mattison, who stepped in for Dalvin Cook in a very big way today. And then, of course, we will talk about the game that DK Metcalf had. You heard Coach say they were able to really shut down the Seahawks in the second half, but DK Metcalf did come away with a fairly good game. So we'll talk a little defense when we hit that point. So let's go back to Kirk Cousins. We know number 8 had a really great game last week, but we didn't have the outcome we wanted to see. This week, totally different story. He was, as Coach said, he was accurate. He was playing fast. And with those touchdowns today, he eclipsed 200 career touchdowns.
Yeah, I mean, that's why Kirk Cousins probably would say
Yeah.
you like that. I mean, this is one of those moments where Kirk Cousins just did the things he had to do. And I keep going back to this, just being smart with the ball. 30 for 38 completion to attempt, 323 yards, 3 touchdowns. But the passer rating is the one, 128.4. Why? Because he didn't throw it to the other team. And that's the key for Kirk Cousins. And he didn't get, it wasn't no strip sack fumbles where there was a run back to the end zone. That's the things that happen that fans hate. And Kirk didn't do that today.
No, Kirk with an absolutely clean game, a 78% completion percentage there. Let's take a look at the next gen stats. Is this a scatter chart that you like to see? Well, actually, we'll take a up. Right when you scramble, which Kirk Cousins is good at right now, you get what you want. The scatter chart right here. And this is what you like to see.
Yeah, I mean, the big thing is the deep balls, but also he spread the ball around the field. I mean, honestly, if you look, though, to the left, that's kind of his sweet spot. Like, he likes to go left. He does have a few on the right, but the left is his – I've said that for the longest. Even though he's a right-handed quarterback, he can roll left and throw right. The one he kind of faded back to, I think it was KJ Osborne, and he was running the crossing route.
Yeah.
Same thing. It's still kind of falling back to his left, and that's what Kirk Cousins does.
This play right here, we just talked about a little while ago, the Justin Jefferson touchdown.
Yeah, and when you look at Kirk Cousins' vision here to Adam Thielen,
Oh, I'm sorry,
it
this
was
is the
just an
Thielen, you're right,
absolute
yeah.
rocket. But what he does is he understands right away, no safety. Thielen sets him up with a great stutter at the top of the route, and Kirk Cousins saves his guy without killing him. But here, this is one I like. You're going to see him count 5 guys, the 5 guys down and the guy in the end. When he motions out, he's going to say, Sunday, Sunday. That's telling him they're ready to snap. At that point, the linebacker moves, and now he has an indicator. Okay, he's coming now, Mike 54, which is Wagner. You're going to see the center now, or the guard now, no, I have Wagner. The guard does a great job helping the center, which gives Kirk Cousins a ton of time. And look at that space. Now JJ can get some yak, and that's what we want to see. If he gets that much time, Kirk Cousins is unstoppable. And that's what the key. The offensive line did a good job keeping them upright.
Yeah, you also said earlier when we were watching the game, this is not something you're used to seeing from Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, and it's not just Kirk Cousins, it's the offensive line. I mean, that's the thing. Those conversations right there where Kirk can say Mike's 54 and then actually have an indicator to say, oh, wait, Sunday, Wagner moves up into his spot, and he said, yep, I've seen this before. He's coming. This guy out here is not coming. And now he knows, okay, you're covering my tight end. You're my blitzer. And now I need you, center. I need you to talk. You two trade off. If he twists, you take him. He helps the center. And then all of a sudden now the guard's like, yep, I got you. And they could not do that delayed blitz that we know the Seahawks love to do.
And you know what was so great to see was the third down conversion rate, because I know that's something this offense has really struggled with, whether it's the amount of yards on third down or being able to convert more.
Yeah, I mean, 69% on third down. We know the fans love when third downs are completed because you're getting more time to stay on the field and you're keeping the defense off the field. But Kirk Cousins just did a good job. And not just Kirk. Kubiak, we have to go with Kubiak. He was getting the great play calls. The offensive line wasn't jumping off sides to give him second and long or first and 20. None of that happened today. And I think that's the key. When you can be in 3rd and 4, 3rd and 3, 3rd and 1, you can convert. And that's what we saw.
If you're just tuning in, earlier in the show, head coach Mike Zimmer said he received a text this morning that Dalvin Cook would not be ready to play. So this was a big day for Alexander Mattison. And he answered the call in great fashion. Now, I will say, he's got Seattle's number a little bit. He rushed for 112 yards against the Seahawks last season. This time, 171 total yards from scrimmage.
Yeah, and I mean, 112 on the ground again. You got 59 in the air, but Alexander Mattison, that's the biggest key for him, is that he did his job. He didn't try to do anything outside of his body. He didn't try to be Superman or something. And what you're going to see from Alexander Mattison, I mean, there's plays that he actually missed. This here could have been a touchdown. I mean, look at that lane. If he cuts back, he's still running. He hits his head on the goalpost most likely like Dalvin would do. But again, he's just trying to get positive yards. He's trying not to make mistakes. But again, there's a progression for Alexander Mattison that he could be even better, which is scary. I mean, 171 total yards, and he missed plays. And that's what a coach is going to watch film and say, hey, dude, you left a lot of yards on the field, and that's what you have to do as a coach. And you weren't winning the time of possession battle in the first half. So seeing the clock switch that way in the second half, a lot to do with that ground game. So it's really great to see. Let's look at the other side of things. In the first half, really setting the tone for us was Russell Wilson, who is now 7-1 against the Vikings. Let's all say it. He is not undefeated against the Vikings anymore. But we've got DK Metcalf with a big game, because obviously, trying to keep him in check. Yeah, I love this kid because I actually played with his dad, Terrence Metcalf. So I feel super old, when I used to play on the field and see a young kid running around. Now this guy's out here doing big things on the field. But Russell Wilson has a humongous target with DK Metcalf. He's done the Vikings dirty before. He started off early, and it looked like, he had a great day, but he did not have an explosive, overall day. His 107 yards to me were real pedestrian. It wasn't like a huge DK deep ball or a 99-yard run running 4.3 speed. It was just, hey, you're open because Tyler Lockett is being locked down, and I think that's the key. Yeah, let's take a look at this right here. This was what the real stinger there in the first half. Yeah, and so what DK Metcalf did was you're gonna see another play from him later in the game where he kind of runs a out and then a back end, leaves Patrick Peterson standing there, then later runs an out route for a touchdown on Breeland. He has that deep ball over the middle, but then after that, some of the double moves, they started to figure him out. And that's why the second half was a big difference. They didn't allow that. It's all about making adjustments, and I'd say Mike Zimmer and the Vikings were the big winners in that one today. Halftime speech. Halftime, yeah. I don't want to be a fly in that wall, or fly on the wall in that room. Well, thank you so much to former NFL receiver Ron Johnson for joining us for this Vikings Postgame Live. I know that you have to get to the phone calls for Vikings Fan Line, which at least this time they'll be... People are happy. People are happy. Yeah. You'll be getting a lot of happy calls this time around. So thank you so much for being here. Big win, right? We appreciate it. Yeah, that was a huge win. 0-3. Making the playoffs probably won't happen. No. 1-2, you have a chance now because the Lions lost with the doink. So that's true. Hey, that's true. 66-yard history. Doink. History. Yeah, we're going to talk about that in a little bit as well. But for now, we are actually going to send it back out to US Bank Stadium for Between the Lines with Gabe Henderson, voice of the Vikings, Paul Allen, and Ben Lieber.
Well, the Vikings take care of business right here at US Bank Stadium, winning 30-17, and I'm right beside voice of the Vikings, Paul Allen, and Ben Lieber. And guys, well, I'll start with you, Ben. This was an amazing game. We finally get a win, no matter how you look at it, and it was a pretty impressive win.
It was impressive because I liked the tale of two halves. The first half, we're like, oh my gosh, is this going to be a shootout? Is our defense going to get things fixed? And, can our offense sustain this productivity? We get into the second half, our offense just grinds it out, chews up the clock, keeps their offense on the sideline, and then when their offense gets out there, our defense really stepped up. So I like the idea that it looked like we went in at halftime and made the adjustments and listened to whatever message was given by the coaches.
That is for sure. PA, Kirk Cousins, 918 passing yards in his first 3 games this season. The most passing yards in his first 3 games since 2016. He's on fire right now.
Right, and the Minnesota Moving Company has a lot to do with it. Rashad Hill made his 4th start at left tackle today since 2018. We're still waiting for Christian Darrisaw. But let's not forget, in that Cincinnati game, 80 yards of penalties on the Vikings offensive line, and it completely changed the game. Go to Arizona. They block well enough for Kirk to shred Arizona. Dalvin had a big game before the ankle. And, sadly, we lost the game. Now you come here today. Poona Ford, Al Woods, Brian Monet. Nobody knows their names. They're really, really difficult to move. And Kirk was sacked 1 time. The offensive line left to right with Rashad Hill, Ezra Cleveland, Garrett Bradbury, Oli Udoh, and Brian O'Neill. They're fantastic. They are playing so well right now.
Then they're going to have to continue to play well playing against a Cleveland Browns team next week, Lieber, a team that had 7 sacks today. Myles Garrett had 4. Jadeveon Clowney had 2.
Hey.
But I think we're still in good hands if Dalvin is able to come back. But Mattison ran the ball well today, too.
Yeah, listen, we heard all that noise about the Arizona defense, right? And until they ran into us, they were the talk of the town and talk of the league. So, it's going to be no different. Yeah, I think regardless of the production those guys had getting after the passer today, it's not like we were going to disrespect them and overlook them. So I think we're going to have our game plan ready with Clint and his staff. I know the stadium and these fans are going to be ready. Yeah. Our defense just has to step up and play action way better than they played play action today.
Final thoughts, PA?
I can't wait for that Cleveland game. Very happy that the Minnesota Vikings got into the winner's circle. Quite honestly, with the way they played at Cincinnati and then the missed kick at Arizona, they had chances to win both games. I'm not going to say they should have won both games, but they definitely should have gotten one.
Yeah.
And they didn't. So hopefully that doesn't bear its fruit as the season goes on. We got a victory today. Let's meet our old friend Kevin Stefanski next week and to see what happens.
Well, in Jarvis Landry fashion, winning is contagious. Tatum, back to you.
Thanks, guys. Alexander Mattison today, 26 carries, 112 yards, 6 receptions, 59 yards. A big day as he stepped in for Dalvin Cook, who was out for this contest. He's at the podium now.
Zim said that he told you guys this was the best offensive performance he's seen from the Vikings in 8 years of being here. To know that you were part of the catalyst of that happening, what's that mean to you?
Oh, it means a lot. We go out there and we prepare every day to be the best offense that we can be. So for us to go out there and prove it today, it was a huge win for us individually, as a group, with that O-line, the tight ends and the receivers all together. Kurt did an amazing job today. So the offense, it clicked the way it did. It's awesome for us to see that, and then we can build on the little details that we missed, but also celebrate the progress that we've made.
When did you find out that Dalvin Cook wouldn't be able to play, and then what was your mindset coming in after you learned that?
Just between me and him, I found out a little sooner than probably everybody else, but it was, I prepare every week the same way. I have a routine. KP's big on us having our routine, so going about it that way, having a routine, but just having to take care of my body a little different, knowing that, I'm taking all the reps in practice and then also going to have to be, up the first snap of the game. But, yeah, just taking it and attacking it the same way I would attack any other game. Just got to understand, obviously I'm taking the first rep instead of just being ready to go in.
How does 32 touches feel on body?
Feels a little tough right now, but it's one of those things I love about the game. I feel every single one of those reps, but they all paid off, and we were able to come out with the victory. So that's all that matters.
Just how do you feel? I mean, you tied your career high with 112 yards rushing. I mean, how do you feel about that?
It feels good. It feels good when you're able to get the ball and be productive. So this offense, we love to be productive as backs in this offense. So it feels amazing. Wouldn't be able to do it without those guys up front, though.
Now, what was the difference on third down? You guys not only did it so much better, but you also had this killer instinct that you just kind of went for it again and again.
Yeah, just honing in on the details, understanding that we had to be better on third downs, and we went out there and got the job done. Huge credit to all the guys that were in there on those third downs, making big plays, making big catches, big throws, and making big blocks up front for us to convert on those.
Can you talk about the swing? It's 17-7 Seattle. They get a sack. It looks like you're punting to them. They're going to get good field position. Then you have the defensive hold, and then one play later you get the screen. You guys are off and running. That was a huge play, wasn't it?
Yeah. You know, we knew that we could probably take advantage of them in the screen game, and just real glad that we were able to actually come out and execute that part of our plan. Just knowing how those guys play, it was something that we were able to target a little bit, and the O-line did a great job. Kurt put it on the money, and then just having open grass to just kind of go out there and try and make some plays feels great.
What is it about a defense that makes them vulnerable to screens? Is it blitzing a lot, off corners? What is it?
Yeah, just a little combination of everything. Just understanding how the linebackers play, how the D-line plays, and then trying to attack upfield a little bit. So get that separation, get that space between the D-line and the linebackers, and then from there you kind of just play ball.
Did Dalvin say anything to you specifically before the game or give you any advice, when he knew he couldn't play?
Yeah, just letting me know, he didn't really apply any pressure to me or anything like that. He knew I didn't need a pep talk or anything. I was ready for the opportunity, and he just told me go run with it. And, he's with me every step of the way, come to the sideline, get some advice for him if he saw something. Most of the time, though, he was just telling me, that, I was doing exactly what he would do. So that just made me proud to kind of be that little brother in the sense where I'm just there and trying to learn from him and, prepare me for this moment. Just being behind him the past couple of years is just it's been a huge blessing for me in my game. So for us to go out there as an offense and just his energy, his presence was felt today, even though he wasn't out there.
Does it feel like you guys have a little bit of the weight off your back, not being winless at this point?
We take this victory, and it's a big victory for us. We go out there every week to win, so it feels amazing. But we just understand that it's still bigger than just 1 week. We got to take it 1 week at a time, but there's also a big season ahead of us, so we don't really we're not taking the foot off the pedal.
Kirk Cousins, the catalyst for today's 30-17 Vikings win over the Seahawks. He's now at the podium.
Great to get a win at home. Great to see our crowd again for the first time in a long time. Tremendous energy. I was sitting on the bench with Justin Jefferson during the first drive, and I forgot he had never been in our stadium for a regular season game with a full crowd like that. And he was saying, "Boy, it's loud in here." And I kind of looked at him thinking, "Yeah, I guess this is your first time." So he was really impressed, and I was very impressed. So it was great to start fast offensively. A lot of players stepped up today and made plays. Alex Mattison, Tyler Conklin, Justin Jefferson, Adam Thielen, KJ Osborne. The offensive line did a phenomenal job. Amir Abdullah did a great job. And I thought that Clint Kubiak just really had a good plan. I think anytime the first drive is a fast start, it says a lot about our coaches and the way they prepare and plan and, script things early. And they did a great job. So, proud of the effort. And obviously, week 3, there's a lot of football up ahead, and you say it when things are going poorly that, hey, we got a lot of football left as an encouragement, but I would also say that you say the same thing when you win. Hey, we got to stack them up. One win doesn't do it. We got to keep going. So that's where we're at, but I'll take some questions.
How do you feel about the way Mattison filled in for Dalvin Cook today?
I was really impressed with what Alex did, not only running the football but in the pass game. Alex impressed me 2 years ago as a rookie when he came in, how well he caught the ball, mentally how well he handled all the protections and running the routes. And I was impressed today with the way he runs after contact. He really brings his pads and runs with a lot of forward body lean. It makes him tough to bring down, and he becomes a violent ball carrier, which I love to see. It was really good on screens today, and really proud of the way he played. And then my shoe, it just fell off, and I looked at the ref and I said, "Do I get an equipment timeout here for the play clock where I can put it back on?" And he said no. And I said, "Okay." So I stuck my foot in it, called the play, got to line of scrimmage, and realized I'm better off with just going without the cleats. So I threw it off, and the pass got batted, unfortunately. But it's one of those deals.
When Zim says that this is the best offensive performance he's seen from the Vikings in 8 years of being, you guys do that without on a day that you don't have Dalvin. What does that tell you about the group that you do have with everybody else?
I think it says a lot about our coaches. I think it says a lot about balance as an offense. You know, we're going to throw to the tight ends, we're going to throw to the running backs, we're going to throw to the receivers, we're going to throw to several different receivers. So I think being a multiple offense, I think, really helps. So, you know, and I do think today, just the time of possession, I think, you know, anytime we can stay on the field, that becomes a great defense for us when their offense isn't on the field. So I think time of possession was big, which goes back to converting third downs, running the football well. But, you know, if you have to nitpick, I do think that we can be better in the red zone. You know, I think, kicked 3 field goals down there, and, you know, that'll come back to bite you. So I was frustrated on the sideline. A couple of those drives stalled in the low red. We got to find a way to get touchdowns.
To hear more from Vikings quarterback Kirk Cousins' press conference, go to Vikings.com. You can check his press conference plus coach, other players, all of your post-game information at Vikings.com. Let's take a look at what happened around the NFC North today. This game, what a crazy finish in this one. Justin Tucker with a 66-yard game-winning field goal that bounces in as time expired to down the Lions 19-17. And then the Bears get pounced on by the Browns 26-6. The Cleveland Browns undefeated as they get ready for a big game here at US Bank Stadium at noon a week from today. It's going to be another home game, as I just said, on Sunday, and then the Lions come to town as well. It was great to see US Bank Stadium packed with fans. For all of your Vikings post-game content, check out Vikings.com or the Vikings app. Now, I will say that I drove in today and heard that song Kryptonite. I heard that Russell Wilson seemed to have the Vikings number, but I knew hearing that song this morning, that would not be the case. So there's your date, October 3rd at noon in the beautiful US Bank Stadium. We want to see the crowd just as loud, just as hyped, because the Vikings are now 1-2 on the season. Thanks for watching Vikings Postgame Live, presented by Miller Lite. Skol Vikings.